Yes, I understand that the general advice out there is that you should hold on to your job as long as you possibly can while you figure out reselling. And to be honest, I really do think this is the best thing that you have to do. Keep your job no matter how shitty it might look. Keep your job as long as you can while you go ahead to figure out if reselling is going to be for you or not. But then I'm aware that there are still some people that have come to this crossroad. They have gotten to this point of their reselling journey where they really do think that quitting their job is just a must. And in this video, I'm going to be doing my best to give you a path to full-time reselling, step-by-step guide where you need to consider questions to ask yourself before you decide to make this all-important move. This might be a question that might be popping up in your head right now. You want to quit your job, you hate your job, you want to go all in on reselling. And each time you go online to try to see if there are resources for you, you hear people say, don't quit your job, keep your job, keep your job. But then you are asking yourself, this is something you think you can do? This guide is actually meant to help you and to answer your burning questions that you might be having, which is basically how you can transition from your current job to full-time reselling. But before we go all in on the video, I would like to paint a scenario here. Let's assume that this is you. You currently work a 9-to-5 job. It could also be like a 6 hours job. It doesn't matter, but let's assume that you work a 9-to-5 job and you are currently spending the evenings or weekends sourcing and selling items online. It could be on eBay, it could be on whatnot, it could be on Amazon. But then you have very strong selling skills as well as marketing skills. This is a plus. This is a skill that will actually help you succeed if you finally decided to go full-time reselling and you've gotten knowledge of a particular category. In this case, it could be vintage clothing. It doesn't matter. It could be electronics. It could be household items, and the list goes on and on and on. In case you are joining the channel for the first time, this is actually my area of specialty. I say use electronics on eBay, and I've been doing it for a very, very long time. But back to the scenario that we're painting, you actually want to go full-time reselling. You are tired of this combination. You've got a 9-to-5 job on the side. It's stressing you out. Your evenings are never ever spent with your family. You are always out there trying to look for how to source. But then you've said to yourself, look, I think I do have the skills to go out there and just be a reseller full-time. And like I said, you have gotten some pretty decent knowledge about some certain categories, be it clothing, be it electronics, and you want to transition into full-time reselling. But even though these things are already in place, you still got some fears. And these fears is exactly why you have clicked on this video, to actually see what are the odds, what are the things you need to consider. And some of the fears or the struggles that you have right now is yet you are currently having very difficult time management. You are struggling to balance the demands of your full-time job as well as the reselling activity. This is real. I've been there and I know how it goes. You never ever have time to do anything. You wake up in the morning, you pretty much go to work. You come back, you are tired, and it's very hard to still focus and put in a lot of positive energy on your reselling activity. So you're kind of stressed out already. Financial stability, you are kind of concerned about how it's going to go. You don't know how it's going to be maintaining a steady income during the time of your transition. This is also very real because the fact that you are going to transition to becoming a full-time reseller doesn't mean that your expenses are just going to disappear. They are still going to be there. You still have to pay your health insurance. If you have a car note, you still have to pay it. You have to pay your phone bills, and you still have to pay your internet costs. Scaling the business is another fear or struggle that you have. You are finding it challenging to grow the reselling business while working full-time. Yes, I've been there before, and sometimes it's not about your motivation, it's just about your physical ability. You've gone to work, you come back from work, you're kind of tired. You want to do something, and the sleep comes knocking on the door and say, hello, you have to sleep. And you try to put in an hour or two, but truth be said, an hour or two a day is pretty much nothing compared to the demands of reselling. See, what you are currently doing now is that you are actually working 2 full-time jobs, because reselling itself is already a full-time job. Even though a lot of people do not want to acknowledge this, it doesn't matter if you are making money or not. The activities that goes into reselling, from sourcing, from listing items, from shipping them, is already a full-time activity. So if you currently have a 9-to-5 job and you are doing reselling all the time, this is the reason why you are actually stressed, because you are pretty much doing 2 full-time jobs. And then there's the issue of risk management. You see, you're having these fears of, if you leave your stable job today and you go all in into reselling, what happens then when the business fails? This fear is not something you can just wish away. This is true. A lot of businesses fail in the first 1 to 3 years of setting it up. So there's no reason for you to believe that the fact that you've gotten these right skills that we talked about is a guarantee that your business is going to succeed. So if these are the fears that you have, there's no problem. I've got you covered. This is exactly the reason I have made this video, because it could be very stressful to combine a full-time job and also want to do reselling on the side. But then I reason that yes, there definitely might be people out there that want to test things. I for one do believe that yes, it's good to test things out. How do you know if you're going to succeed reselling full-time if you really do not test it out? So this video is actually meant to help you. It has got you covered. I'm going to be showing you a few things to consider, and these things are all hidden here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These 5 solid points. I believe that 1 or 2 of these points is actually going to open your eyes. Pay close attention to these points and actually go ahead to ask yourself some of these questions, because they're going to go a long way in helping you weigh your options and seeing that if this is going to be the right decision for you. The first thing you want to consider if you are thinking of leaving your full-time job and going all in on reselling is you want to review your current savings, your monthly expenses, and your income from reselling. So I'm assuming that you already have a shop right now. It could be on eBay, it could be Amazon. Doesn't matter where you are selling. What you have to do as soon as you are beginning to have more and more of this thought of leaving your full-time job and going into reselling, first thing you want to do, my friend, is to go ahead, review your current savings, your monthly expenses, and your income from reselling. This is very, very important, because later on we're going to be seeing why this is so. Because if you have $0 saved, believe me, you should actually throw away the thought of ever trying to go full-time on reselling and quitting your job. But if you have a decent amount of money saved up, yes, this conversation then is for you. The rule of thumb is normally for you to have at least 3 to 6 months of living expenses saved up in cash, not in any other kind of asset, but the raw cash, which is you have the money saved up in a savings account, so that in the event that you quit your job, you don't have to worry about living expenses. So this is exactly the reason why you need to really review what you have in savings, your monthly expenses, and how much are you currently getting from the reselling. So if you can really do this, which is you have asked yourself the questions, because don't forget, these are the things that you need to actually consider before you make this big move. Ask yourself, what do I have in savings currently? What are my monthly expenses, and what is the business currently bringing in? And ask yourself also, do I already have between 3 to 6 months of living expenses saved up in a bank? If yes, then this conversation is definitely going to be something for you. The next thing you want to do is you want to set clear goals, because these goals, they are very important, because it will help you to stay focused and to define what success exactly looks like for you. It could be that success for you is to have consistent monthly revenue from reselling that matches your current salary. This could be your goal, but you have to decide on this. This is just an hypothetical goal. You have to really sit down and decide what your goal will be, what kind of lifestyle you want to achieve. Think about your goals. It's very important. Don't go blindly into becoming a full-time reseller without having done a deep thinking about what kind of goals you want to achieve in doing what you are about to do. Next thing you want to pay attention to in this case will be market research. You want to make sure that before you are thinking of going full-time into reselling, you have identified a profitable niche. In my opinion, a profitable niche will mean that this is a niche where you are able to make a lot of money, because truth be said, not every niche on eBay will guarantee you the kind of money that you are thinking of making. This is exactly why setting your goal is also important. What kind of money do you want to make on eBay? And if you are able to identify a particular niche, you're going to ask yourself, is this niche able to guarantee the kind of lifestyle I'm thinking of living? And if yes, then you also have to ask yourself, have you gotten your pricing strategy in place? Because if you have the wrong pricing strategy, then you're definitely going to be struggling making profit. Also, having the right pricing strategy will also help you in cases where competition comes in. You are sure that the competition is not just going to come in and upset you or upset your strategies. This is very important thing to do. So research the market, identify the niche that will guarantee the kind of lifestyle you want to live, and make sure that your pricing strategy has been worked out in such a way that no competition can just come from the blues and take you over. So the next thing you want to take a look at is time management. You need to ask yourself, now that I want to be a full-time reseller, am I able to block or allocate specific hours for sourcing, listing and shipping items, because what you are about to do now, you are about to become self-employed, which is you are going to do everything yourself. You are going to be able to wake up in the morning to source items, to list items, as well as ship out items. Are you disposed to blocking or allocating this kind of hours for yourself to do this task? When you have a full-time job, you've signed a contract, naturally you want to go to work and fulfill and deliver on the contract that you've signed. But if you become a full-time reseller, you also have to allocate time to do all these activities. This is not about being free, it's also work. Like I said in the beginning, reselling is a full-time job, and the earlier you begin to treat it as such, the better. Are you able to block time for yourself and say, today I'm going to source items, doesn't matter, I'm going to list items, and whenever anything says today, I'm going to go ahead to ship it up? This is a question you have to ask yourself. But if you are not disposed to blocking time for yourself to do these activities, then you may want to think again and possibly reconsider your stance on going all in on reselling. The next thing you want to consider is setting incremental goals. Yes, in the transition phase, which is right now, you are thinking, I want to go all in, I want to go all in. This is closely related to you setting goals for yourself. Your ability to set incremental goals, test it and see if it works for you. Let's say you have set a goal for yourself to consistently increase your monthly revenue from reselling, and you have achieved that. Test to see if you increase the goal a little bit. For example, I want to increase my reselling income by 10% every month. Test it for 2 or 3 months and see how soon or how possible it is for you to achieve these goals. If there are goals that you can easily achieve, it's pretty much that you are getting the green light to go all in on reselling. Another thing you want to take a look at is you want to be disposed to leveraging technology. See, this could pretty much be a game changer for you. The more disposed you are to using technology for listing, technology for inventory management, the more possibilities that you will succeed if you decide to finally go all in reselling. There are some people that are really opposed to using technology for running their business. I, for one, I really do think that technology is a game changer. There are a lot of inventory management softwares to help you out. There are listing softwares, there are listing services to help you streamline your operations. Make sure you are disposed to all these things before you consider going full-time on reselling. Yes, it might be very daunting. It's not an easy ride. Like I said before, I'm really for the idea that you have to keep your job as long as you possibly can, because as soon as you go into reselling full-time, then that means your steady income is put on hold. And sometimes reselling could be very, very tricky. There's a month that you make a lot of money. There are other months that you do not make a lot of money. But then if you've considered these points that we talked about, like evaluating your financial health, setting clear goals, making market research, evaluating your time management strategies, and leveraging technology, it should be actually something that you can do. Yes, is it going to be difficult? Possibly, yes. But is it something that you can achieve with clear plans and the right resources? I really do think that you can actually achieve it. I hope this video helps you shed some light on your plan. Do think deeply if this is really something you want to do. But if for any reason or the other you still need additional resources, feel free to be part of the WhatsApp group. I'm going to leave a link in the description below where you can easily talk to like-minded people like yourself and hopefully get 1 or 2 ideas that will help you at this stage of your reselling journey. Go ahead and click on the like button, subscribe to the channel. Until I see you again, peace.